Today, it is not difficult to get ahead of 99% of men. And I know because I've helped 1,000 young men, myself included, get to that point of being the 1%. Most men in the world right now are just living life the wrong way. And it's most likely why you, for example, are waking up with your bank account having less than $1,000 and nobody is looking at you like a leader. But there is a step-by-step framework. And once you follow it, you'll be able to make multiple six figures and possibly even seven figures and go from this to this. And this is the exact same framework that I used in my life to not only put all of my bills, but also my family's bills on auto payment. Today, I'm making this free video for you because I'm on a mission to take 5,000 people from nothing to multiple six and seven figures and being leaders in their households and in their communities. So in order to get ahead of 99% of men, the number one thing and the first thing that you need is mental fortitude. And basically all that means is mental toughness. As you can probably tell today by looking at any news headline or even social media, most men today are weak. And not just men, but most people in general are extremely weak-minded. And that is the exact reason why 99% of men are not ahead. Now, every influencer you've probably seen has said something similar. You gotta be tough, get a strong mentality. But what they fail to do is give you how to actually do it and the first step that you need to take. And because of this, most of you watching especially are just stuck saying, I want to get ahead, but how do I work out my brain? Well, I'm gonna tell you, the key to working out your brain is just simply to gain confidence. And I know that sounds way easier said than done, but first you have to dive into what even is confidence. And when you look at confidence, it actually doesn't even exist. It's just competence. And all that means is you really know something or you're really good at something. That's it. Because think about it, when you get really good at something, no matter what it is, you're extremely confident in your ability to do that thing, which makes you confident. Now, low self-esteem, aka confidence, is a big issue in 99% of men today because 99% of men just aren't competent in most things. Most people skip one of the most important steps to actually getting into that 1%, and it's why they stay in the 99. And this step is actually how to get competent. My advice to you is get competent in working out and just get really good at it. Basically, all that means is go to the gym, get really good at it, study the body, and understand how to actually get fit. At this point, you're probably wondering, gee, Zach, I know I need to get fit, but how in the heck does that make me confident or competent? Well, it's really simple because you understand how to actually get fit. In turn of your understanding, you start to look better, you start to feel better because you actually know what you're doing, which leads you to having a product, your body, of your competence and your hard work. And once you get to show off that body, that brings you confidence. Now, having confidence, being competent, and of course being super fit is great. But in my opinion, there is one more thing that you need to have, especially when it comes to your health. You don't just need a good body, you need to know how to use it. We all know that being 260 really doesn't matter. So what you need to do is you need to go also learn some form of martial art. At this point, you won't just be fit, you won't just be mentally strong, you won't be just super disciplined, you'll also have peak confidence. You'll be able to walk around believing in who you are and knowing that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. That step alone will put you ahead of almost all men, but it still won't get you to the 1% that you're actually aiming for. The reason for that is just because you're missing the most important step of all. And it's the one step that has to be done after the fact, but the one step that can make you soar as a man. And that is simply learning the skill of communication. Now, if you learn the skill of communication, it can open so many doors for you. Think about it. Let's say you're wanting to get some type of job opportunity. If you know how to communicate on the interview, you can get whatever job that you're looking for, even if you don't have a degree, because you know how to communicate all your skills properly. Or we can say relationships and friends. If that's really important to you, you can get as many relationships as you want with whoever you want. In terms of friends, family, anything like that, you're gonna be able to talk to them and get really close to them because of the skill of communication. And of course, one of the last things is business opportunities and investments. If you know how to communicate properly, you're gonna run into a lot of business opportunities just because you know how to negotiate properly, or a lot of investments because you can get what you want based off of what you say. And that, my friends, is huge. Now, you know the skill that I just explained is extremely effective in day-to-day life. The problem is most people fail at actually getting it done and actually studying communication the right way. And if you do miss this, you will not be in the 1%. I can promise you that. So here's just a couple steps on how you can actually work on your communication. Number one, start pausing. Instead of saying and ah, that makes you sound super unprofessional and like you don't know how to communicate. Just pause and find peace in that pause. Find a cool piece in that awkward silence that most people hate. If you're comfortable in it, you already separate yourself from 99% of people. So instead, pause. Now, a couple in-verbal communication cues is, of course, making really good eye contact. That shows a big level of trust. People can trust you when you actually make eye contact when you're speaking with them. That's huge. Another big one, of course, is your posture. Make sure you're upright. You're actually confident. And by the way, in order to be confident, if you're doing those things that I said before, you'll be able to walk with your chest out and do anything you want to by your posture. And then the last thing, of course, is hand gestures. Move your hands, explain. A lot of people are visual learners, so when you're moving your hands around while you're talking, that helps them kind of understand it a little more. And of course, with hand gestures as well, make sure you have a firm handshake. Please, you're a man. And then the last piece of getting really good at communication is listening intently. You need to get really, really good at listening. Whenever someone's talking, listen like it's the last time they're gonna talk. And I promise you, everybody that's speaking with you will appreciate that. Now that you have all these things in your arsenal, the big question is, are you in the 1% now or are you not? The answer to that is yes, and here's why. Communication is the bridge to your finances, because like I said before, if you can communicate, you open up so many doors for opportunities. So now you have a strong mentality, you have a strong body that's super fit and you can actually use it, and you have great finances because of your communication. But you have to truly maximize on all those things. Not just what I said in this video, but so much more in each of them. And that's exactly why I've created a free course just for you, specifically on communications and how to become an online high-ticket closer. So if you really do want to be in that top 1% of men, click that link in my description below and I will see you inside. And remember, it's completely free. All you need to do is click on it because I'm trying to change 5,000 people's lives.